Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is Meep, Season 1, Episode 1, Comedian Gee Fauker interview. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast. Hi everybody, this is Duck, and I want to welcome you to Meep! Meep! Meep is a podcast that I do by myself, but every once in a while I'm going to have a special guest with me. And today I have one of my very good friends. He is the Mexican Superman. That's what I call him.
Yeah.
The Texican Superman, because he got this long, flowing hair. And every once in a while he's got that little...
Yes, ladies.
He get that little curly cue up in the top of it.
That's right, ladies.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, he also wears a cape, and he's got a big one.
Uh-oh.
That's the real reason they call him Superman, because he is hung. I don't know what he's hung like. I've never saw it. But if I did, I'm sure it would be huge. Is it huge?
Maybe there's one of the ladies out there that can answer that for me.
Anyhow, this is comedian Gee Fauker.
Hey, Doug. Thanks for having me on.
Me. So it's just a catalog of things I do throughout the week, things I enjoyed, stories from my past, and then sometimes I like to do interviews. Meaning, this will be the first one.
All right.
With my friend Gee Fauker on the Meep podcast. So, Gee,
I like that.
We want to talk about your beginnings as a comedian, but I want to talk about your beginnings as a person. All right?
Beginnings of the person of Gee Fauker.
All right. So, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Euless, Texas. Well, at least that's where my parents told me I was born.
So, you think you might have been born somewhere else, like the moon, or like...
I was born out of space somewhere.
Okay, all right.
Traveling through time.
All right. He was born on Mars.
Yes.
Oh, wait, no. Krypton. You're Texican Superman.
Well, it's called Mipton.
Oh, that's what the Mexican version of Krypton is Mipton?
But I would like to clarify this. Duck is saying I'm a Mexican. I'm actually a Texican.
And what is the difference between a Mexican and Texican?
A Texican is basically how it sounds. You were born in Texas.
But you have Hispanic heritage?
But yeah, I'm of Hispanic heritage.
Now, here's something, as a white person, if y'all didn't know, I've always wondered, what is the proper terminology? Is it, in Texas, I just say Mexican. Not everyone's Mexican here, though. Like you said, Texican.
They'd be considered maybe Tex-Mex or a Chicano.
Okay, what's a Chicano?
Like American Mexican.
Okay. Is it inappropriate to say Mexican, or is that okay?
I mean... If they're a Mexican,
it's okay.
But
if they're like Puerto Rican and you say
I'm a
that
Texican.
Shit. So if they're Puerto Rican and you say Mexican, they'll fucking get on you.
Oh man,
they get shitty about that.
That's
like I've never been around a Mexican. You go, hey, you're Mexican. They're like, yeah, I'm Mexican, man.
I'll put it like this: if you're in Texas, you're a Mexican. If you're in New York, you're a Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
If you're in Florida, you're a Cuban.
Yep. And there you go.
There you go. In California, you're a Mexican too.
So you were born in Euless, Texas, supposedly.
Euless, Texas.
We haven't seen the paperwork, but most likely that's what we're looking at.
Trump can't come for me.
Nope. You got papers. They're somewhere.
Somewhere.
I hope they're on the other side of that fucking wall he's building. They'll be screwed. You got real serious there. You're like, I didn't know where they are. I gotta find that shit.
Nowadays, yeah.
That's true. So you were born Euless, Texas. Are you firstborn, secondborn, middle child, only child?
I believe I'm the firstborn living. I don't know a lot about my family. Well, I think I forgot about a lot about growing up.
You blocked it out.
I blocked it out, yeah.
But so do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, I have a sister and, two sisters and a brother.
Okay, and so you're the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Yeah? As you were growing up, did you get in trouble a lot?
Growing up, I was like the average kid. Mm-hmm. I did some shit not proud of.
Like what? Tell a terrible story about something you did as a child.
I don't want it to come back to me.
Well, yeah, did you kill somebody?
No.
Like, I don't want it to come back to me. I murdered him.
I don't remember. No, but I used to go around and get the back of the cars. This is before your time, probably, when the cars had those things that cover the keyhole to get in the trunk.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I used to pop those off of cars.
Did you ever
collect them?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Cadillac was my favorite.
How many did you have?
Oh man,
you ruined some days, man. People came out and you ruined some cars. That
They
little
don't have
latch
to worry about
alone,
that now.
that's $1,000 right there that you took off the fucking resale
Was
card.
it?
Yeah, dude. I looked it up right now. While we were talking.
I wonder if I still have some.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're not worth $1,000 if you resell them. How about remember the hood ornaments that used to be on cars? Did you ever go up and just twist one of them fuckers on?
No, I never messed with those.
We used to go up all the time and mess with those because my grandpa had a couple of those. I think it was like Chrysler or something like that, but had the weird looking star one, like in the pentagram or whatever it was. Yeah, I'd go up all the time and like move that left and right. My grandpa would get pissed.
And the Buick,
yes,
one with the like bird.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, dude, why don't they make those anymore? That shit was the shit.
I don't know.
Kids, you don't even know what we're talking about. I barely know what we're talking about because honestly. That was a long time ago, but I remember that shit. That was cool as fuck.
I guess I want to say I'm the reason they stopped putting those things.
Oh, you are. Single-handedly, you destroyed it.
Yeah.
Because
I want to say I'm the reason.
It came straight out of Euless, Texas, and actually now that it's recorded, they're coming to get you. Did you have a happy childhood?
It wasn't the happiest, but it wasn't the saddest.
Right. Well, did you come from a family that would spank you if you were bad?
Oh yeah.
I think that defines people. I think that if you can get spanked when you're a kid, and you live through it, you're fine. I'm not talking like somebody wailing on you. Not wailing on you. But like a spanking. I think kids need that.
Yeah, I do too. I'm glad I got spanked, actually.
Yeah.
Because I would be worse than what I am if I didn't get spanked.
If I never got spanked, well, I didn't get spanked that often. My older brother got spanked, and we would watch, because my older brother, he was bad. I mean, he would, like how you said you were stealing the latch off the keyholes in the cars, he would have just stole the whole trunk and took it.
Yeah?
He didn't give a fuck, dude. And he was bad. Yeah, oh, dude, he was bad. And so, whenever he would do bad things, my parents would line us up in threes, okay? Him first, because he was the oldest. My second brother, he's big. And then me. And so, my oldest brother, he is wiry as shit. He's kind of thin. He's kind of built like you. You know what I mean? You get out of a situation. You put him in a chokehold, he'll just slide out. Like he put butter under his chin and waiting for it and shit. So, he's wiry. So, my dad, trying to get a hold of him, to spank him was impossible. He's wiggling this way, wiggling that way. He looks like a worm on the end of a hook, right? Yeah. And so, he's trying to beat him, keeps missing his ass. And so, finally, he hit his ass. He's exhausted, right? Mike would get his beating. He'd scurry off to the bedroom, right?
Right.
And then my brother Matt would come up. And my brother Matt's built like a fucking house, right? And he'd come up. My dad's pissed by this point because he had to chase the first one around and squirm him. So my brother Matt would whack. He would get the hardest one. And then by the time he got to me, I'm crying. I wasn't even there when shit happened. It was just fair across the board.
Right.
And he'd be like, you come up here next. And then by the time I got there, he was just beat. And he's just like, you're good. Go to your room. So I didn't get beat too much.
Well, that's good for you, Doug.
Now, did you get beat like that? Because you were the oldest.
I wouldn't say get beat.
Smack,
I didn't get beat, but I got spanked if I did something wrong.
Yeah, beat. You're right. I'm saying beat, but I meant spanked. My father didn't hit us.
Yeah, I got spanked.
Yeah,
I got spanked.
Do you remember what it was that you did? That
one time I lied.
About what?
I lied about washing my hands. I got spanked by maybe my grandfather, actually.
Yeah. Was it weird to you to get spanked by a different relative? It always kind of made me feel like, I don't know, feel like this person has the right to...
Well, growing up, I mean, I know he was my grandfather, and he was retired from the service, so he was, pretty stern.
So
man.
What was his service that he did?
He was in the Army and then retired from the Air Force.
Okay, and then your parents, did either of them go Army or Air Force?
No.
How about you?
Yeah, I went into the Army.
How long were you in the Army?
3 years. I went right after high school.
Right after high school.
Which didn't want to go.
Want to ask, were you the class clown?
No, I wasn't the class clown. No,
No?
not growing up. I was an athlete.
Yeah? What'd you play?
Football.
Football?
I played football.
Oh, yeah. Were you jacked?
I wasn't jacked. I just little quick. Just knew the game.
What'd you play on the field?
Free safety and wide receiver and
what's
backup
that?
quarterback. So.
Oh, okay. So you threw the ball too.
Well, I was a backup. So.
was it a championship team?
We almost went to the playoffs my senior year.
Okay.
Almost.
So did you ever win a game?
Oh yeah, we won some games.
Okay. Did you get laid from it?
From football?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was because of football.
All right. So did you get laid in high school though? Were you dropping the dick?
Not as much like all the other athletes. No.
All right. So whenever you graduated, you said
I was an ugly duckling growing up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was the ugly duckling.
I'm the ugly
I'm
duckling
Superman now.
Yeah, you got this.
I got this now. I was the ugly duckling.
What we call it? From Micton?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm not even lying. He looks like Texican Superman. I fucking love it. I've known G for a while now. And when I first met him, he had short hair.
5 years.
I haven't seen him for like a year. And when I saw him again, he had this long, flowing locks. And like, beautiful, like, think Death of Superman storyline when he comes back in the blue suit. That's what he looks like. But he's Texican on top of that. It's fucking awesome.
And been called Razor Ramon.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
The wrestler.
So, you graduated high school.
Uh-huh.
After that, you said you went to the Army.
Went straight to the Army, which...
You did not want to go.
Which they had to come pick me up. Here's a story for you.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I was started right out of high school, graduated, started working at a rosary where they do roses and shit, right? All right, so just started working with my friend. Man, day I was supposed to go in, I was like, I'm not going, right? I decided I'm not going to go. I had a girlfriend, you know. I didn't want to
you getting that pussy, man.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave
you
that.
You ain't leaving?
Yeah, I'm not leaving.
No, dude, you got if you didn't get laid during high school, and all of a sudden you're getting laid.
Yeah.
And then you have to go.
And I got a job. So I wasn't going, right?
Yeah, okay, and on top of that, you could bring her flowers every fucking day.
Every day.
And get more pussy.
So you see where I'm going.
Absolutely.
So I got to work, and I'm like, I'm not going. I was supposed to leave that day, right? Supposed to report. All right, no bullshit. It's about maybe a couple of hours after I was supposed to report. No bullshit. I see two men walking up. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is immigration. They're coming for somebody, not me, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're coming for somebody."
Wow.
Next thing you know, they were like, "You coming with us?" I was like, "Me?" Like, "No, I'm not."
No. How did they know it was you?
Well, the guy that recruited me or whatever was one of the guys.
Is that part of their job to come get people who don't go? You sign the paperwork and shit? Or were you
they came to get my ass. Like, I felt like I was going to prison, duh.
So when you didn't show up, they came to get you.
They came to the job. I was like, how the fuck did they find me?
Wow, because they know everything. It's the government, my friend. They know we're doing this right now.
That's why I was so shocked and surprised. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, so I drove my grandmother's car to work. They did not let me drive it home. They put me in the car with them. Said I had to come with them. I'm 18 years old, mind you. And
they just put you in the car and took you off.
They told me I had to go with them, or I was going to prison.
Yeah.
Shit. Or I was subject to go to the federal military prison.
What?
Which would be worse than real prison, right? Like,
right.
Man,
so
they scared me. They scared me into going.
Time out. Day one, you were supposed to be in the Army. You almost defected.
Went straight out of high school to the prison.
Yeah, holy shit. Did you get to say bye to your family, your girlfriend, and all that sweet puss?
No, I mean, once they took me, they took me to my house, let me get one bag, and that was it.
Were they shitty towards you the whole time, or were they just kind of like, we got you?
I mean, no, it wasn't. I mean, I was 18, so I was like freaking out.
Right.
I was like, shit, what the? I was even trying to get my friend's dad to be like, hey, don't let them take me. You know, like, where's my support at?
Right. No, they weren't messing with that.
Now,
once you got there and you went through everything, first question is, was that girl still there afterwards?
Well, I had to call her from Shreveport.
Louisiana.
They took me down there. And, you have to swear in twice, actually, really. So
you could have got out.
I could have found a way out.
It was too late.
Say I was gay.
Yeah. Well, at that time, yeah.
Get out.
You sons of bitches, let me out of this car.
Or I'm going to give you a hand job. So I could have got out of it. But I was like, I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I said
there's a lot of hand jobs to give in the Army, because I'm coming, boys. Let's go.
I said, I did sign up to be a man of my word, so I'm going to go through with it. So I went through with it.
So was she there after you got out in the end?
She came to visit when I was out of basic training. She came up there. It was rough, man. It was one of those things where, even though I wasn't going to jail, it felt like I was going.
Yeah.
Because I was going someplace that I don't know nobody.
Right.
I'm 18 years old.
And this is the first time that you really left the area that you grew up in, right?
Well, yeah, I was living in East Texas by the time I graduated.
Oh, so you kind of did. You moved a little bit then.
Yeah,
so,
I moved to East Texas.
So what was being in the Army like?
At first, it was something to get used to, waking up every morning. Then you have to pull guard duty. Your sleep would get interrupted. So.
Did you enjoy boot camp then, or were you just like, whatever? Because you were athletic already.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like getting up early, but like I said, it's something you get used to. I used to exercise in the morning,
Now, I've always wondered, boot camp's what, 6 weeks?
It was 2 months.
2 months, okay.
Or 3. It might have been 3 back.
So 3 months, they condition you, they break you down, they make you a soldier, right?
Right.
Afterwards, do you continue to do the same things you did in boot camp when you actually go on duty? Do you work out as much? Do you run every day? Or is that optional? That's your choice to do so.
Well, when you get to your unit, you still do exercise. They still keep you.
It's not as intense?
Yeah, it's not as intense because the drill sergeants are, conditioning your mind as well.
Right, exactly.
Once you get...
They break you down to work in that unit, to follow orders, to make sure that...
once you get to that...
It's not a bad thing. And that's the thing. When people are younger, they always get mad about it. They're like, oh, you go to the Army and they brainwash you. You have to have that conditioning to be able to survive in the situations you're going to be put in, because you never know where you're going afterwards.
Right.
You could be going to be stationed somewhere, which I believe you were, or you could be going to war. And you have to be able to understand that that's how this works. You have to be able to take orders. They condition you. When I was younger, I was always booking Army and this and that. Now I respect the fuck out of that, and that they have to do that. It's a choice people make. It's a job. So what was it like for you?
You were right about the service, but once you get to your unit, it's not as intense, and it becomes more like a job, so to speak. Because, I mean, really, you get to a point where you either follow orders or you don't. If you don't follow orders, you get punished. You go to court in the military, whatever.
So you ended up being stationed where?
Hanau, Germany. Yeah.
Germany? Where?
Hanau, Germany. Hello.
And was your experience?
Wie geht's?
Oh, yeah. No, I guess that's the Swiss, huh? So what was your experience in Germany?
My experience... being an 18-year-old, it was a wild one.
All right, so
so
you work? Are you living on the base?
Yeah, I was living on the base.
And then you work how many days a week? Just the 40
5.
hours?
You work 5. Then the weekends are yours. So
on the weekends, what would you do? What were your duties during work?
I worked in the motor pool, so I basically worked with the mechanics. Although I just basically did brakes on the 18-wheelers and shit, right? Or sometimes I pull guard duty, so I would just stand at a shack, just check people's ID.
That's it?
Yeah, with an M16 on my shoulder.
Bro, why would you need that? Was there something going on in Germany?
I mean, no, not that, but, it's America. I mean, American. So you're on a base, and, some people may try to bomb like they do the embassy or something.
I see what you're saying. So you got to be prepared at all times just in case something happens.
So yeah, you just can't go onto a military base.
So you never had to go to a battlefield or anything like that, just stationed there. You never had to do any of that kind of stuff.
No, I didn't have to kill nobody, unfortunately.
Now, were you nervous during boot camp that you might have to go to some place that was dangerous?
I didn't think about it. I'm 18
this
years
old.
This is before
9/11 and all that
before
shit.
9/11, yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't nothing going on. And then being 18 years old, you don't care as much about certain things. If it happens, it happens. You just... Now that I'm older, I'm like, woo!
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I didn't go, yeah. Whoa!
Thank Lord.
Yeah.
So, when you say it was a wild time being 18 in Germany with all the Fräuleins.
All the Fräuleins, yes.
What was it?
Shout out to the Fräuleins.
Yeah, the Fräuleins. You know you are, baby.
The Fräuleins.
Listen, if there's a little Texican Fräulein running around, that's the baby of the babies.
I don't know. I might have a little German Fauker out there.
Yeah. Is that true, you think?
No. Well, I don't think so.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast. All right, now you building this up. Was it just one Fräulein, or was it like Fräuleins?
If it's Fräuleins, plural.
Yeah.
Plural.
Oh, shit. A line of Fräuleins?
I mean, it didn't even end at the Fraud lines.
Let me ask you something. Are the Krop girls better? Do they got the tight ones?
Who?
The Krop girls, the German girls. Do they got the tight ones?
I mean, they have some nice ones. They have some nice ladies. There's some that don't shave.
Ooh, is that a European thing or is that a fucking
arms? Yeah, that's a European thing.
How do you so how do you feel about that? If you got like she laid down, she plopped down with her arms behind her.
I would tell her to put her arms down.
Yeah,
and hug her and do it to her.
Yeah.
I do it
because it's very distracting when you see.
Yeah. She. I'd have to strap her arms down to the
throw her in a full Nelson and just go to town and be like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Everything else is
now we're in the chokehold.
So we're talking now. How about down below? Did they shave down there, or was that the all natural also?
The younger generation,
the sauerkraut, if you will,
the generation that I was messing with, but the older, because there would be some older women over there. Oh yeah, but no,
dude,
they'd have a muff.
Did you? Oh, did they?
A muff.
Oh yeah,
a muff.
So you'd have to go down there and find it, is what you're saying? Like you'd have to go through the hedges. You look disgusted right now.
I'd have to.
Was it worth it even?
You're taking me back, Doug.
You look like you're having terrible flashbacks.
We're gonna have to take a break, so I could go to the restroom. No, no, we're good.
We'll take care of it.
We're good.
3 years there. How'd you end up getting out? Was that your contract?
The 3 years. I only had to do 3 years. Ended up not re-enlisting. I had an option or choice to re-enlist, but it was already in my head that I wasn't going to, and plus I was in a little bit of boiling water, so to speak. I got in trouble.
What'd you lobster? What'd you do?
I had a little accident with a kraut.
Oh, really?
But it was an automobile accident. Instead of stopping and giving him my information for insurance and stuff, I took off and he chased me.
Why would you do that?
Because
did you have something in the car that you didn't need in the car?
No, it's because I wasn't supposed to be driving in the first place. My license was suspended. I won't get into that.
In Germany?
Yeah, in Germany.
You're not joking. You had a wild time.
No. I wasn't supposed to be driving. I dropped the buddies off at McDonald's or whatever, and I didn't look. I just backed up without looking, so I backed into his car.
You hit a cop car?
No, it wasn't a cop car. It was just another citizen.
Okay.
But I probably could have, really thinking about it, I probably could have got out. I should have just got out and said, oh, I'm sorry, how much, for your car, how much will it take, or I'll pay for it, or give my insurance. But I wasn't supposed to be driving, so I panicked. Mm-hmm. So I just took off. And the motherfucker chased me.
The guy chased you?
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm going down fucking residential streets. I feel like I'm being chased by the cops, man. Like I
thought you were. That's what I was confused. So the German citizen chased you down.
Yeah, he followed me.
And he caught you?
Well, I ended up at a dead-end street because I didn't know where I was going, right? So I ended up at a dead-end street to where I had to slowly back out, turn around. So he got my license plate.
Oh, shit.
So, anyway, I returned to the base. He got my license plate at that moment. And so he just goes to the military police, whatever. I know that he's going to do this, so I just go I just go tell him what happened.
And then so you got in trouble.
I got in trouble,
you what ended up happening from that?
I had to do some extra duty time.
Oh,
and I lost the rank.
Okay.
Like I was like a E4 specialist, and I lost the rank.
All right. So when it came up the time to re-enlist, you're like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah.
Germany's too much for me. I'm getting in too much trouble over here.
I was.
I
was 18.
Well, you were 21 by the time it was done. You're probably raising hell, and it's illegal to drink at 18 over there.
Yeah, it is. So I was able to,
do what you want.
Get in clubs, having fun.
Dude, it honestly sounds like it was a blast. I'm kind of bummed that I missed out on it. So when you came back, what'd you end up going? Coming back here to Texas?
Came back, ended up going to North Richland Hills, staying there for a bit. Got a job at a cable company.
When did you decide that you wanted to do comedy? When was that moment?
It was the moment that I started going to the open mic. Well, I started working there. Then I started going to the open mic.
So you never had any aspirations of being a comedian before that? You never thought, oh, man.
Well, I always loved comedy and I always liked watching stand-up.
So who were the stand-ups that you watched that inspired you?
I would watch a lot of Def Comedy Jam growing up. So I saw a lot of the Chris Tucker, the Martin Lawrence, Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, all those people coming up, seeing them. I mean, I've just always loved to laugh.
Right.
I mean, I've always wanted to play football. That's what I really wanted to do. But that, of course, didn't happen.
Right.
So, on top of my childhood dream of being a football player, after going to the service, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I thought I was going to go to college, but that ended up happening.
So, when you started working at the comedy club, what were you hired as?
The door.
Door guy.
To do door.
How long have you been doing the comedy? How long did you start going? How long ago was it you started going to open mic nights?
4.5, 5.
4.5, 5. And what was it like the first time you got on the stage? What did you do?
I did a little bit that was already pre-wrote. So I went up there and already had some jokes written. Got a few laughs off of them.
How'd it feel?
It felt good, like to make strangers giggle.
Mm-hmm. And if you've never done comedy before, an open mic night is the most difficult crowd to make laugh. And I'm sure you can attest to this because there's a bunch of other people who want to try being a comedian. And the problem with that is to be a comedian, it is a slow process. You have to start here. You have to tell those first couple jokes. You got to do that first 3 minutes. You got to get heckled. And people sitting in an open mic or other comedians who want to do their 3 minutes on stage, and they are the most judgmental people you will come across when it comes to comedy. Despite the fact that a lot of comedians have low self-esteem and have issues.
Oh, yeah.
A
lot of issues.
They also are very narcissistic, where they think they're better than everyone else. So I've sat in open mics where there's just people judging other people instead of laughing. I fucking lose my shit laughing. If it's funny, I laugh like a hyena. If you listen to any of these, I have a very distinct laugh. I am willing to laugh. When I first started the comedy club, I saw G get on stage, and I literally thought he was funny as shit. Now, G has a very odd sense of humor. He's very hard to read. People don't really understand him because he can be dead serious and say something fucking hilarious, and people don't know if he's trying to be funny or if he's just being weird because he's weird as shit.
Being serious.
But it is hysterical. So if you can enjoy his off-kilter, offbeat sense of humor, it is the greatest thing ever. The problem is people don't always get it. So you always run into this different side of him where you're just like, is he being serious? I'm like, no. Like, you can laugh. He's being funny. He'll get the death stare a lot where people are just like, I don't get it. I'm like, it's fucking hilarious. What don't you get about what he's saying?
It's over their head.
It is. No, and that's the thing that's wonderful about it. It's literally like, you're just like, how did you not get that was funny? You're like, I don't know, he said it so serious. I'm like, he's fucking with you.
Yeah.
I've known G long enough to know if he's being serious, he'll do a little, before it. And then that's when he's being serious. How many nights a week were you going? Were you just going to one comedy club? Were you going to a couple different ones? Did you catch the bug right away?
I'll go to a couple. The bug was right away.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, I went to Dallas Comedy House a few times. Mm-hmm. Hyenas a few times, open mic. But the Improv was the one I went to the most, right? Consistently.
And seeing it, and we're just going to say, he works at the Improv. Do you feel more comfortable on that stage than the other stages because you work there, or do you think that being diverse and going different places helped?
Being diverse, going different places definitely helps, but also once you're working there and being there so many, a lot, it helps as well because you kind of get familiar with the surrounding and get familiar with the people that come in and stuff. So
now, your comedy style, how would you explain it? What do you like? Is it one-liners? Is it story jokes? Is it observation humor? What would you say you do?
Some of it's observation humor. Some of it, I mean, I do have a writer as well. Someone that I bounce ideas off of or helps me. Mm-hmm. And some of it's like facts of life. Right. With a little twist, of course. All over, man. All over.
And which comedians have you worked with? Over the weekend, we had Russell Peters at the Comedy Club.
Oh, yeah,
Russell. And Gabe got to work on stage with Russell. Yeah. Who else have you worked for?
I got to do a spot for John Hinton, Overton from Living Single. Scruncho from How High. Some local comedians like Celebrity, Joe Reynolds, Black Ron, Robert Powell. Quite a few. Alfred Kanga. Where do you feel like you are right now on your journey?
How do you feel? Where do you think you are in the transition from the beginning to being where you want to be with this?
I'm definitely far from where I want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're kind of still in the beginning steps.
I still have a lot of growing, a lot of more.
But you've got that solid 5 down at least. How's the longest that you've done?
I've done 10. I've done actually 15.
I was gonna say I think the longest you've done is 15 because you've worked as an MC. Have you featured yet?
Haven't featured yet.
So you're still in the MC process, working that out.
Still in the hosting process and guest spot process.
Exactly. And so you got a tight 5. Do you think you have a tight 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a tight 10, good 15.
Yeah. And so you're still kind
of... I need to get to that solid 20.
Once you get to that 20, dude, then you
once I get to that solid 20, I'll be
move up to feature, yeah.
I'll be gold.
And then what people forget, a lot of people who start this community, they forget that there is a hierarchy you have to step up. And honestly, the space between MC, feature, and headliner are 3 completely different things. The MC really has to set the mood for the show. They have to come in, they have to get that audience who's had a long week at work, they're tired, they're exhausted.
Yeah.
You got to get in there and let them know, this is what we're doing, we're having fun. And every headliner is different, but most MCs, they need to work clean or as clean as possible because it's the headliner's job to be the headliner and to do their thing. Yeah. The MC's job is just to come in, get that crowd going, get them amped, and if it's a 3-man show, let the feature take over and really, really bring up the energy and then have a smooth transition to that headliner.
It's like sex.
Exactly. You gotta have the foreplay.
The MC just setting the mood, getting the candles ready.
And then the feature comes in and he gives a little bit of the
kissing on the neck.
Maybe
finger a little bit.
And then that fucking feature comes in and just goes to Pound Town for a good 50 minutes.
The headliner comes in and
he gives he throws the head down. Yeah, exactly. And so there is a flow to it. So as a MC, what is your favorite part about going out on that stage? What is your favorite part about talking to the crowd? Do you interact with the crowd a lot?
I don't do a lot of crowd work. You do kind of get to break the ice of the room, and you do you kind of set the tone. Any headliner, they're gonna come wreck shop anyway. So even if you don't, but it's always good that you do.
Can you feel the crowd whenever you first get on the stage? Can you kind of gauge almost immediately what it's going to be like in that room?
Yeah, it's. I'm not as good as some out there that could do that, but I'm getting better at that. Getting better to gauge the crowd because that's a big part of it.
Absolutely, it's a weird job that you can stand on stage and look out and know that one side of the room is with you, but the other side of the room is not with you, and you got these bright lights on you the whole time, but yet you're still trying to play into it. Plus, now you're going into maybe your rehearsed skit that you have to kind of go here or there or move it up and not take it personally because you're putting yourself out there completely.
Well,
you're completely negative.
You got to look at some faces too because you see some faces in the crowd. Some faces are just,
oh yeah,
with their arms crossed and they're not ready to laugh at all. They don't want to laugh. Their job is not to laugh.
Exactly. There's a bizarre mentality within a showroom where they're just literally. What you got? What you got? As an attitude. And our comedy club is a primarily black comedy club. And that crowd is even more difficult because they are not going to give 2 fucks about you. If they don't like you, they'll let you know they don't like you. And they're not going to give you those laughs until you fucking earn them from them. Now, the other thing, though, is with black comedy clubs, if you can get the folks laughing and break the ice and let them know, come on, let's have a good time. Yeah. Changes it completely. You get that
I'm not white.
You get that first laugh. Boom, done. And that's all you need. And it just moves on from there. Because once the ice is broken, like you said, it's broken completely.
Yeah.
But if you don't break it right, you fuck.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, I love it, man. I love it.
And you can tell the difference between pity laughs and fucking laughs.
Yeah.
Now, G went up over this weekend.
Gee Fauker.
I fucking lost it. I was in the back, losing my shit. Can you please, just real quick, give us the Bill Cosby joke?
And
this is copyright Gee Fauker. No one else takes this.
His name is Pill Cosby now. That's with a P-I-L-L. Pill Cosby. Since he went to jail. When he gets out, I heard that him and OJ are going to make a movie together called Don't Drink the Juice.
Dude, I fucking love it.
I hope, ladies, if you're out there and want to come see that with me, let me know.
Oh my god, dude, that's a great tag. Dude, that's so fucked up. When you said that, I lost it. Because he said Bill Cosby, and the room went, oh. like you could literally audibly hear the room move backwards. Yeah. It was fucking great. And then when he killed it, he slammed down that Don't Drink the Juice. I literally stood up, and walked out because it was so great. So what is your be all end all? Do you just want to work in the comedy scene, or would you like to get to that point where you're doing more?
I want to do more. I want to be a traveling comedian,
right.
A real traveling comedian.
And that's what people forget. People like Kevin Hart who have all this exposure, all this attention, and make the big bucks. Most comedians don't have that. Most comedians are working comedians, just like anyone else with a job.
Or homeless.
Well, that's true, too. It's across the board. But at the same time, that 5 to 10 minutes you can get on stage can mean everything. It's addictive. So you want to end up being a traveling comedian. That's what you'd like to do.
I always want to do comedy the rest of my life.
And then just be able to go out, do 4 nights a week, Thursday through Sunday.
However it is.
Make a little bit of scratch.
Yeah, I'll do 7 nights a week. Well,
that'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
For a couple of months. Yeah. Then
do you have any advice for anyone who wants to get into comedy? What is the first step they need to take?
First step would be to do it. Just do it. You got to do it.
Were you nervous that first night?
Yeah, I was nervous.
Do you get nervous now when you go on stage?
There's still the nervousness.
And then once you're up there, do you feel better?
Once I hear the first giggle or something, I feel better.
Okay.
Once I hear the first giggle, I'm good.
Do you think that fear ever goes away?
It'd be more nervousness for me than fear. There was a time where it was kind of like fearful, but
how about that first time you actually got in front of a crowd? How was that?
That was like real audience, a real show is kind of you kind of like, oh man,
yeah, it's something else.
I don't, I hope I make someone laugh.
Right. And did you?
Hell yeah.
Nice. That was fun.
I don't want to sack and guarantee, but at least 1 or 2 chuckles.
Right.
If you come see me.
Yeah.
Hey, 1 or 2, just 1 or 2.
Listen, I think you're
that's my goal. I mean, my goal is more, but if I get 1 or 2, hey, that's 1 or 2.
Within 5 years, where do you see yourself?
5 years? Whew. I don't know, Doug. I don't know.
I've watched you grow over the last 5 years from just going to open mics and doing jokes and then bouncing stuff off me. And like you know, because you walk up to G and he'd just be like, he started on a bit and I'm like, no, that doesn't work. Or you do another thing, I'm like, that's fucking good. You should do that. Even a month ago, jokes he was doing on stage last night, I was like, oh shit, I remember. And you were like, I got this idea. And I watched it go to fruition. Because even I was like, no, that's not really working. Maybe try this. But then you took it up a notch and you did something completely different. And it was great to see that you were willing to try that stuff and actually got a laugh out of it.
Yeah. 5 years, I hope to be at least featured more. I would say I'd like to be on Netflix. Netflix.
Hey, give him a special now.
Netflix.
It's the first Tight 10 special you'll ever do Netflix.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
We're going to have 100 comedians.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a bad idea, dude. Gee Fauker will be moving to another city to start fresh.
Yes.
And
Corpus, here I come.
Are you excited?
When you're my age, Doug, you don't get excited about a lot, except for some new vagina, huh?
How much?
Then you get excited.
Do you know how much new vaginas found in Corpus Christi?
What? Oh, so yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, dude, you better get fucking pumped.
I'm getting excited now.
Yeah, dude.
No, but
and it's already wet because it's right there on the side.
In the ocean.
Yeah,
right?
dude, it's
ocean
already
wet.
That's that salt smelling puss.
Uh-oh.
That's that good shit, man.
I had to kill it with vinegar.
Woo, yeah, you just pour. I brought it, baby. Like a hush puppy. That's what they call the pussy down there. They call them hush pussies.
Hush pussies.
Yeah.
So, I'm getting ready to come down there and really work on the comedy,
and hopefully
come back to Dallas-Fort Worth area and get booked a lot more.
I hope you bring your hush pushy with you when you come back, man.
Well, I hope I have a couple to bring back.
Really? Oh, ladies, you don't know about G, man. He bringing the game. He bringing it hardcore.
It's the Texican Superman here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Straight from Mecton, or whatever we called it. I'm telling you, he's coming to ruin your day. Well, we appreciate you listening to us. G, thank you for being my first guest on this.
Oh, we're done?
Yeah, brother, we're done.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Was there anything you wanted to say to the people out there listening?
To the 5 people out there, if there's any ladies, cute ladies out there, you could look me up. Gee Fauker, Geefauker. I'm straight. I'm a straight man. Although you heard all this other stuff
about jerking off the our recruiter and stuff like that, trying to get out of it.
Yeah. And hopefully I'll be on again with you, Doug.
Yeah, maybe we'll check up on you in like 6 months or so.
No,
and see how it's
in a couple of weeks, actually.
All right, how about 2 days
before I come do a show here?
All right,
in Dallas-Fort Worth.
All right, done and done. So we will talk to you again, G. We appreciate you being here. Please listen to the other podcast on the Quack Attack 5000 network. We've got We Are Air with me and Jake and Javi, and we've got the Movie Amnesia podcast, which episode 2 actually has Gee Fauker on also, and we watched A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, and talk about it.
And y'all be sure to tune into Meep.
Yes, next time on Meep, Meep. Thank you very much for listening. And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcast here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget, Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go ahead and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.